A GJRB Sports Page Update starts now.
And here's the Sports Page Update for this hour. We got some action going on here in sports on the Sports Page today here on GJRB. And some of the action going on right now, Boston is over Philadelphia 3-1. It's 3-3 Toronto against New York. They're tied up. And New York, Philadelphia, Atlanta, they're 2-0. New York 2-0 over the Braves right now. And let's see, Milwaukee. And some of the games coming up a little later on. Chicago and Cleveland. Milwaukee against Kansas City.
It's covered on Garyj's Sports Page. I'll talk about what's going on.
Okay, I'm going to shut that off a minute. Don't need that on. And let's see, we've got some action coming up this afternoon here on GJRB Online. I'm Gary J. Russin with you. We've got more stuff going on. More Sports Page on the way. I'm Gary J. Russin. This is GJRB Online on Spreaker across America and around the world. We'll be right back.
Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J. Sports Page. I'll talk about what's going on.
And you're listening to Gary J. Sports Page on Talk FM 108 KGRZ LP FM, Clinton, Iowa, and 9 foot on the FM radio dial. So 9 foot on the FM dial, you're listening to it.
From time to time, and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J. Sports Page, alternating Saturdays at 2 o'clock Central on GJRB Online.
Imagine one day tuning around on your internet radio only to find a station playing old radio programs complete with commercials and thinking, what am I tuning into? The past? You might be, or it's just GJRB Online and Radioland. A day of nothing but classic radio shows back to back with classic commercials in between. Like the days of radio. Almost like your computer is picking up signals through time. Closer than you'll ever get to time travel. Radioland.
If you're a new emerging artist and want your songs out there, the place to go is Reverb Nation. Reverb Nation, a website purely devoted to new music from new artists from every town and every state in the U.S. If you're a solo artist and recording your own music, it's Reverb Nation. Stop on by, visit, listen to the music, check out the site, www.reverbnation.com. Put your music out there and gain an audience. Go to Reverb Nation for the best in new music. And remember, if you like your songs played on GJRB Online is up and coming, drop me an email at GaryJ65@yahoo.com. And I'll be playing your song on all GJRB Online shows. Remember the name, Reverb Nation.
Watch. Pray. For you not know what hour the Son of God will return. Prophecy, New World Order, terrorism, economic collapse, wars, pandemics, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction. Volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, signs in the heavens. Keep up with world news and events you hear on GJRB's News on the Hour. Go to End Time Headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org. With a lot of chaos happening, keep in touch with End Time Headlines and GJRB. Watch. Pray. For we not know what hour the Son of God will return. Prophecy, New World Order, terrorism, economic collapse, wars, pest, Israel. When they say peace, then cometh sudden destruction, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, end-time headlines at www.endtimeheadlines.org.
That sound more like everyone else than anyone else.
Hey, alright, it's Kip Casper.
Spreaker is the website which turns anyone into a radio DJ. Log on to Spreaker.com for listening to thousands of radio channels and start creating your own radio today.
We are back on Gary J Sports Page on GJRB Online here on Spreaker across America on a freestyle. This is it. We're going all the way, non-stop talk in this next hour. As a matter of fact, we're going to go non-stop clear through to about 23, maybe 24 minutes after 2 o'clock Central Time, as we're going to be getting ready to close out for the Cubs, so locally. So just let you know about that. Yeah. So, say that. But right now, we're going to continue talking sports on Gary J Sports Page on Freestyle Saturday here on GJRB Online. We're going to go ahead and post all over the place and see who might be listening to our program today. And we're going to clear out things and work on that stuff for the next hour. And we'll see what's happening along the way, too, and we'll do our sports scores here in just a few minutes. But meanwhile, I'm going to, let's take a look at what we have coming up next here on Sports Page, here on GJRB Online. This next half hour, we're going to talk more baseball. Got a lot more coming up. Brett Anderson, that's his name. He's now in the 5th spot in the Cubs pitching rotation. Got that coming up. And let's see, a lot of coming up. We're talking about Jake Arrieta. He's doing pretty good. And let's see, a whole lot more. So stay with us. Gary J Sports Page right now here on GJRB Online. Always glad to bring you the best in sports talk radio on the internet on a Saturday afternoon here on GJRB. Yeah, we've got a lot going on here, so we're going to really have some fun with this. I'm not worried about being prepared for anything. Got a lot going on, so we're going to have some fun today on Gary J Sports Page here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. And this is where it's happening all over America, GJRB on Spreaker. And let's see if I can find that now. I always lose it. I always go and analyze and find it because it's always faster there. Let's see. No, Grandma, do that. Okay, it's not here. Okay, so I'm going to look over. Okay, that's not it. Let me see. I'm going to try to find it again because I always lose it. And like I said, it's always faster to find it by going on the database, because I sometimes have to look for it on the whole library here on the mix, and it's a pain in the butt. So sometimes what I always do is I usually put something in at a market, and that's how I do it. Well, that's not what I wanted. Okay, I'm going to have to switch that. Okay, I'm going to flip that over to make the mix the primary loader for playing stuff. It's easier, and I can find things faster. Okay, that means that the mix that I have up here can go out, because I had another one taken over. That's how I do that sometimes. Okay, and this way I've got it. That simple. All right, let's. Okay. All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead now and get ready, because it's time now for another look at the score on Sports Page. Yeah. Some action changes going on right now. Let's take a look at some of them in the baseball scores right now in the MLB. Split squad action from Florida, from split squad action from, check this out. 3-1 Boston. Philadelphia just got a run in. So they're at the end of the fifth inning. 3-1 Boston. Toronto over New York 4-3. New York over Atlanta right now in the sixth. End of the sixth inning. 2-0. Toronto, New York's in the bottom of the fifth. End of the fourth inning for Washington against Houston. Washington ahead 4-0. Bottom of the top of the sixth. Detroit over Pittsburgh 3-0. Miami over St. Louis 1-0. They're in the end of the fourth inning right now. Games coming up a little later on are Arizona against Los Angeles, Chicago against Cleveland, Milwaukee against Kansas City, and Oakland will play a split. Cincinnati's playing a split squad game. One with Oakland and one with Chicago. Oakland, Los Angeles, Minnesota against Baltimore, Chicago against Colorado. There's another split squad game. And San Diego will play San Francisco. San Diego playing San Francisco. And in the NCAA basketball tonight, no action in the afternoon in NCAA. No action whatsoever. But we do have action coming up tonight. These are later games. 5:09 game start. Xavier against Gonzaga. That's coming up tonight. In Oregon will play Kansas. And that's a look at Sports Page Sports Scores up to now on GJRB on Gary J's Sports Page. All right, got a lot of good stuff coming up here, and I hope you're staying with us. Sports Scores every 10 minutes on Gary J's Sports Page on GJRB. All right, glad you could be with me today. Hope you're enjoying the program. We got a lot of great sports here coming up on GJRB Online. So if you're tuning in on a Saturday afternoon, got a lot of that coming. You want to talk to me about sports? Love to hear from you. We got the line's open if you want to talk about that whole bit with the basketball players saying that the earth is flat. I'm sorry, but I just like to make fun of it. That's what they're saying. They're saying that the earth is flat. I know. It is funny, isn't it? I mean, it's worth a laugh or two. Yeah, I think so too. It's just strange. Anyway, we got a lot going on. Let's take a look at some of the other baseball news here and see what's going on in the world of sports here on Sports Page. Remember, this is just like the Gary Wrestling program. It's sports news and comment. And so sometimes what I'll do is I'll just say the last hour coming up to the final hour. Sometimes I'll do a Sports Page update, and sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll just kind of go on through and just do it, so this is what it is. But Pirates Jung Ho Kang, I hope I pronounced that right, reportedly denied a visa to enter the United States over a DUI conviction. Yeah, he's being denied entry into the United States because of a DUI conviction.
End of quarter clearance on
It's this coming off of latest scores and news alerts. Major League Baseball saying that the MLB's picks on Sportsline is saying that Ho Jung Kang has reportedly been denied visa from entering the United States over a DUI conviction. Wow. So you have to wonder about that one. Over a DUI conviction, he's being denied that. So we're going to see why this is. So check this out. This is interesting news. Okay.
Pirates third baseman Jung Ho Kang has reportedly been denied a visa to enter the United States. Kang has been arrested for DUI 3 times over the years in South Korea, including over the winter. Earlier this month, he was sentenced to 8 months in prison, but the sentence was suspended 2 years, which means if he stays out of trouble the next 2 years, he won't have to go to prison. Still, his visa was rejected, and it's unclear when he's going to be able to come to the United States. It's possible he might miss the entire season.
Wow. So that's what they're saying. Being denied entry into the United States due to a DUI conviction. You know, I think that is logical that they would do that. I mean, maybe with a DUI conviction, I don't know, that has to be one reason. But I have to ask why it would be a reason for that. But anyway, that's what they're saying. Anyway, denied entry into the United States due to a DUI conviction. And, well, you know, I wonder if that has to do with the Trump thing going on. And you have to wonder about that one, because that could be all part of the deal there. Could it be that issue? But you know, you have to wonder about that one. But anyway, that is what's going on there. All right, I hope you enjoyed the sports page, GJRB Online on Spreaker across America and around the world. Let's continue with our sports page here on GJRB, and I'm going to, let's see, Garyj, I always have trouble pronouncing that name. Medea. He's in St. Louis. He's a Cardinal. This story company wants to apologize to Adam Jones over a Puerto Rican comment. Apparently he made a comment which Molina is unhappy with outfielder Adam Jones. He made a comment regarding something, and let's see if we have a story on that unfolding here on our, let's see if this plays. Apparently that's what it is. He's not very happy.
How about your level of excitement about the WBC? What emoji would you use?
I'm giving that the yay Bitmoji. Absolutely. I'm excited. Hey, first time the Americans win this, which is huge for baseball here in America. You know, it struggled probably the last 10, 15 years. I think this goes a long way in getting some younger kids involved. Maybe they saw this atmosphere that we saw in the last few weeks and said, maybe I want to play for Team USA Baseball and be a part of that. And looking ahead, of course, the Olympics, baseball back in there. So I'm excited about this.
I give it a big thumbs up emoji. Hey, thumbs up, guys. Way to go. It's America's pastime, and for the first time we win the World Baseball Classic. I don't say it's about time, because obviously the rest of the world is taking this very seriously, but yeah, I give them a big thumbs up. Really proud of you guys. What about, how do you feel about the future of the WBC? What emoji are you assigning?
All right, I'm using the home run Bitmoji here. And I'm excited about the future of the WBC. They're talking about 2021, which is interesting, the timing with the Olympics in 2020. But here's my hope, that a lot of the biggest stars saw Team USA win, and then they hop on board for 2021. Someone like Mike Trout, who said, yeah, I'll probably play next time around after watching this. That leaves me very hopeful and very excited.
Okay, that's why I'm going to do the emoji with just the eyes and no expression.
You know, I was wondering what that emoji is. Anyway, it keeps sticking, so I'm not going to play it much further. But anyway, Molina was not happy with comments on the USA outfielder Adam Jones. Adam Jones made winning World Series Classic final on ESPN. U.S. beat Puerto Rico 8-0. That was a great game. I heard about this. This was WBC, World Baseball Championship, and America won. They beat Puerto Rico 8-0 Wednesday night in this tournament. Jones said that Puerto Ricans plan to return home to celebrate regardless of the outcome of the game. Rubbed America's wrong way. They read the wrong way. As Jones said, the fact that Puerto Rico had shirts made and had planned on a parade already, but didn't sit well as we did so. Jones is talking about things that he doesn't know about, according to what Molina said to ESPN at the parade on Thursday. He said, quote, really? Has this to get informed because he shouldn't have said those comments, let alone in public and mocking the way preparations were made. He has to apologize to the Puerto Rican people. Okay, he has to apologize to the Puerto Rican people over this. Okay, because as Molina said, obviously you wanted to win, but he didn't know what it means to our people, quote, unquote. U.S. second baseball, Ian Kinsler made comments regarding Puerto Rico's exuberant style of playing before the game on Wednesday, saying he was hoping that the kids would appreciate America's less outwardly emotional style. U.S. adoption of the business-like approach is much discussed, in contrast now with Puerto Rico approaching their celebration as well. The team's success, as well as the major story in the baseball-loving country. The team is dyeing their hair blonde during the run as many fans follow suit. Interesting. Okay, but anyway, so Molina said, I don't know exactly what Jones said in the message, but apparently I guess Jones said something regarding the Puerto Rican game, so I don't know exactly that one, but that's interesting. Anyway, on to better stuff. Jake Arrieta crushing a 465-foot home run against Zach Kroenke in his first spring at bat. Fascinating there. And then, let's see, I'm going to get out of that story right now so I don't have that stuff coming over. I'm going to go now into another story that I'm going to talk about real quick. And it's talking about the Cubs pitcher, Brett Anderson. He's getting ready now. Brett Anderson, he's going to be batting fifth in the Cubs rotation. Batting fifth in the Cubs rotation. Out of Mesa, Arizona. He is proud of it. He's going to be a good player. He's batting fifth in the Cubs are picking him. According to Madden, just past Thursday, he announced that Brett Anderson has won the spot in the Cubs rotation. And he'll be inserted into the spot along with Kyle Hendricks, who led the year in 2.13 ERA in the fifth. The Cubs will open the season, and he's ready. He's ready. Brett Anderson is definitely ready to play baseball.
Body feels good, my arm feels good, and day in and day out. My checks and balances, and last couple starts here, runnings here, we'll try to hone in on my pitches and get ready for the regular season.
How do you feel like you fit into this rotation here?
Regardless of wherever I'm at, I feel, just being healthy is step one, and then kind of go from there. And like I said, regardless of where I'm at, I feel good going forward, and wrap up last week or so here, and get ready for the season.
Yeah, he's going to be getting ready for the season. He got a good season play there, and he's happy about that. And he's going to be picked in the batting order. Kyle Hendricks, like I said, he is on the fourth spot, while Kyle Hendricks, last year he had a 2.13 ERA in the fifth. Cubs will open the season with John Lester. John Lester is going to pitch opening day, with Jake Arrieta, John Lackey, Anderson, and Hendricks to follow. The Cubs wanted to avoid having two lefties. Anderson and Lester start back-to-back against opponents. But according to what Madden is quoted as saying to ESPN, Madden's quoting here to MLB Sports. Quote, everybody's already concerned about the pecking order regarding who perceives to be the best. Goes on to say that just more or less balance it out. And don't even know how important that is either. Some teams only have righties You see, righty. Is that a benefit to the other side? I don't know. We're just doing it to doing that to break it up just a little bit. Hendricks just did fine at number 5, starter last year, winning a career 16 games and finishing 3rd in the National League Cy Young voting. And Hendricks wasn't named the opening day starter, though. The man joked around saying that he was upset, that right-hander was upset, but he started throwing things around the clubhouse and hearing rattling going on and all this stuff. Anderson signed a free agent, so I don't know about that. But anyway, everybody buys in. Everybody's good. They understand the part of the puzzle is their own unique way. And it's kind of neat when you have these conversations, knowing ego is not going to play part coming into the player back at you. And they know as part of the overall picture, they know the purpose to do what we did last year. A unique situation, unquote. Anderson signed a free agency this past offseason, pitching the last year with the Dodgers. So he's from the Dodgers. He was limited to 4 games because of a back problem. He had a back problem and required some surgery in 2016. Mike Montgomery also was being considered for that rotation, but he'll go to the bullpen at this point. So there you go. Cubs playing this afternoon, and for 9-foot listeners, you're going to have that coming up next on GJRB LP FM. That's our GJRB Online FM if you live in the neighborhood of the 28th Avenue North here in Clinton. But otherwise, you can hear it on 670 The Score, WSCR Chicago. That's so if you live in the upper Midwest area and you got a clear signal closest to Chicago, you can pull in that signal. It always comes in real good. 670 The Score, WSCR Chicago. Great station. Great station for sports. I did send them kind of a gripe letter earlier this week, though, on Facebook over this whole deal, because I just don't understand why all the preseason baseball games can't be broadcast on the radio on that station. I just don't get that. I don't know. I just have a problem with it for some reason. I don't know. I just don't get it. But apparently they have their reasons for that. But it's preseason baseball. It doesn't really count. It counts more when the season starts. So I think a lot of baseball games are going to be seen here pretty soon on our local affiliates for that. So there. Okay, you listen to the Garyj Sports Page. You know it's coming up close to the hour right now, about 1 minute to 2 Central Time. And you are listening to GJRB Online on Spreaker across America and around the world on the Internet. Coming up to 2 o'clock in the Central Daylight Time. It is 3 o'clock Eastern Daylight. And the Pacific Daylight Time, coming up to 2 o'clock. Yeah. Anyhow, well, 2 o'clock East, 2 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock East, and noon Pacific. So we're headed to the 12 o'clock noon hour for people listening in Southern California, San Francisco, and Portland, Oregon, and all across America. GJRB Online here on Spreaker. Glad you could be with me today for Garyj's Sports Page. And of course, we're going to do another GJRB Sports Update because we're doing sports news right now, but we'll have another one here in just a little bit here on GJRB Online, so stay with me for that. This is GJRB Online on Spreaker across America and around the world as we continue with Garyj Sports Page. We're going to kind of go around some of the social sites because we haven't done this yet. Okay, we haven't done this yet. We usually pull this. So I'm going to say now that we're done with that quote, I'm going to go ahead and, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to go into, let's go back over here. Let's see around. Okay. Right here. Where we pull up. Okay. We pull up the, yeah, we haven't done this yet. Nope, we haven't.
Now, let's scroll through social media.
Yeah, it's time to do that. Let's see if we can find any late-breaking sports stories on there as well here on Gary J's Sports Page, here on GJRB Online on Spreaker across America and around the world, across the internet, wherever you're listening today. You're guided on Gary J's Sports Page here on GJRB. And I'm glad you could be with me today for the best in sports talk radio. And just ahead of that, Chicago Cubs baseball locally. And, of course, if you're a sports fan and you love baseball, what better way to join us than right here on Sports Page for that, okay? All right, so we'll do some of that. Let's see. We're going to do that right now. Getting top of the hour. Gary J Sports Page. Glad you can be with me today. I hope you're enjoying the program wherever you're listening on the internet here on GJRB Online. We're going to do some late-breaking stories coming up. So stay with me for that. And a whole lot more really good stuff. So, hey, you know what I mean? 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 Sports Page right here. You know what I mean? Right here on GJRB.
Yeah. GJRB Sports Page Update starts now.
All right, let's do it. All right, Sports Page Update here on GJRB Online. And Jacksonville, the NFLPA is investigating whether or not Jacksonville Jaguars violated the league's collective bargaining agreement after the team sent a letter to several players regarding them to be returned to Jacksonville earlier this month. The Florida Times Union first reported at this and looking into the matter. However, they said that it appears the request for the letter sent by the Jaguars Executive Vice President of Football Operations, Tom Coughlin, it may not be a violation of the explicit rules of the CBA. Whoa. Also, let's see. Malcolm Butler shows that the NFL players are still powerless. And why do I always leave that on whenever I'm doing sports? Okay, I don't want that. Okay. This is the top of the hour. Usually, sometimes I'll do when we do the top of the hour sports is to stop that. I might try something different the next time I do this show because finding out that when I do the intro to that, it fades out into oblivion, but then the next player, I have to remember to shut that auto DJ off. That's why I keep forgetting to do that. Anyway, NFL player strike. I really don't care about that story. I'm going to dump that. Let's see. Busted for suspension. 2 stars visiting the Wild first round of the 2013 draft. I don't want that either. I think some of these stories are kind of expired and they leave them on here. Let's see. Justin Tucker endorses kickoff rule, proposing the splitting rights. When did that come up? March 24th? Yeah. Not exactly the rule change for Justin Tucker, though, and he suggested the Baltimore Ravens, all-pro kicker, put his support behind the Washington Redskins proposal that award teams for putting a kickoff over the crossbar. A proposal which would be voted next week, and the NFL owners moves the line of scrimmage. This is interesting. NFL owners are going to move the line of scrimmage to the 20-yard line for any touchback. They're going to go back to the 20-yard line for any touchback where the kick sails through the uprights. Touchbacks on kickoffs currently place the ball at the 25-yard line for the last year that rule changed. And not surprisingly, Tucker endorsed that bonus for 5 yards of a field position because it increases the value of the kickers. Wow. Okay, Gary J Sports Page, 205 in the Central Time Zone. Right now, I'm Gary J Russell with you on GJRB Online on Spreaker. We're going to be coming close to this segment, and we're going to probably take another program break here on Spreaker. And telling the time for myself purposely, because then I kind of get a note as to how we're running here, and then I make it into the notes for the log to try to rig that up, for a tighter program. So I'm just doing that for that reason. So if we do a weekday tighter program, I'll have those notes. So that's why I put that on. We have 9 minutes 26. Let's see it. 9 minutes 23 seconds left in this segment. 9 minutes 23 seconds left at 2:06:21. Okay, approximately. You got Gary J. Russell with you here on GJRB Online, here on Spreaker, across America and around the world. Happy to be here with you today, doing the sports talk, and happy that you join me here on Spreaker, on GJRB Online. And this is where it's happening. This is where it's going to go on. Coming up is our last segment of Sports Page before we close out and go to the Cubs baseball game. Locally, so I'm going to probably do in this last segment is to open it up wide. I'm going to go ahead and spread this program around. I was going to do that this segment, but I got busy with other stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll do another sports score update too coming up. So why don't we get that done, because we have some action going on in the women's NCAA. So we're going to do that right now. Let's do that and see what's going on. There's some action in the women's NCAA. UCLA against Con right now. It's 57-40 in favor of Con with 4:58 left in the third quarter right now. And women's action, another women's action. Let's take a look at some of the action here. Women's action. I'm going to do that right now. It was Oregon's Ducks over Maryland Terrapins, 77-63 in women's action in NCAA. Also, let's see, we got here. I'm going to go and see if I can get into that and get a better score rundown. Why is this doing it? Okay. I don't want a dark page with an advertisement over it. Okay. Anyway, let's see if we can get into the scores a little better. I'm going to work on that. For some reason, I'm just not getting what I want here. Anyway, that's what's going on. Oregon. I'm going to go into the summary for the next game that went on. These are some of the finals. And this is a game coming up at 5 o'clock Central Daylight on ESPN later today. Florida State Seminoles will play Oregon State Beavers in women's action. Okay, so that's some of the action coming up today. Meanwhile, like I said, UCLA in the NCAA women's action. Still not coming up. Why is this not coming up? Okay, so next time I do this show, I am going to use the tablet from now on. It's a lot easier to get the scores up, and it's a lot easier to read it. So I'm going to do that from now on. Meanwhile, I'm going to, let's see, coming up a little later on, Winnipeg against South Carolina, Florida State against Oregon State. Let's see here. I think that pretty much does that. Okay, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go into the men's action. Again, the only action coming up tonight in men's basketball tonight. The only action in men's basketball, Xavier against, let's See, I don't like this because they don't tell you the full name. Gonzalez. I'm going to call it Gonzalez. They don't like it too bad. Oregon against KU. That's Sports Scores up till now on Gary J Sports Page on GJRB. All right, so you got Gary J Sports Gonzaga. That's what it is, Gonzaga. I love it. I'm telling you. Okay, we're going to take a break here. Gary J Sports Page on GJRB. Hope you're listening to the program across America and around the world. And getting this crazy stuff going, I got to tell you, it's a blast. I'm telling you, I'm going to have to work on this. So I marked it here that I've got to use the tablet during this program because the only way I'm going to keep my scores up and not freeze things a little bit, especially when it comes to playing videos or playing any audio tracks or playing any sound bites. Especially I try to get sound bites on before the night before I go on the air. But sometimes I decide to kind of, I don't know, maybe I cheat on my work a little bit because what I'll do is I'll end up saying, well, I'm only gonna maybe feed off the video and not duplicate it, but I don't know. I get to that point where I have to use the tablet for some things, I think. That's all there is to it, especially when it comes to having my news up, my scores, and everything. So that's something I'm going to have to work on for the next show. And next time we do Sports Page, I'm not sure. I think it's going to be within about a couple of weeks. I'll give you the details when I do my GJRB Schedule Update podcast, which I'll be recording this week. And I should have the schedule for that as to the next time I do Sports Page, because I'm not sure when that's going to be. But I will have something there for you. Okay, so just to let you know, I will have something to the next edition of Gary J Sports Page and when it's going to be. So be prepared for that. Okay. And you got Gary J Sports Page Saturday afternoon. We're headed to the last segment of our program, our last 45 minutes, as we conclude the Gary J Sports Page for today here on GJRB Online on Spreaker. And I hope you're listening, wherever you're listening, across America and around the world. If you want to get in on the program, I will stop. Like I said, this is like the Gary Wrestling program. This is where we do a couple of Sports Page updates, and then the last hour on freestyle shows, we kind of skip it, and we do 50 minutes of non-stop talk. And that's what we're doing, kind of spreading around a little bit in our last 45 minutes or so. And and so basically, that's how we do things here. Last 45 minutes of Sports Page coming up on GJRB Online. So we do like 45 minutes of non-stop talk, 45 to 50 minutes in the tail end of our freestyle shows. And I love doing freestyle. Every weekend on GJRB Online, of course, it is Freestyle Weekend. We always start it with the Gary Wrestling program. By the way, speaking of that, before I forget, the Gary Wrestling program, the next program on the air, next Friday, 31st, last Friday of the month, last day of March, the Gary Wrestling program, Freestyle Friday edition. Just like this show, start with news and comment. Our first newscast is live news and comment, and then we it's GJRB's original news talk program. So Freestyle Friday edition, we're going to leave it wide open for you to talk to us. We've got a lot of stuff going on in that show. We're going to take some phone calls. It's going to be a great show. Now, what I do, and I always say this all the time, I will stop any news stuff I'm doing if I get phone calls. So I just read the news and comment on it and talk about it, and then, of course, I do a scroll through social media. So this last 45 minutes, we'll do some scrolls through social media, and we'll wrap up the show here on GJRB Online. So stay tuned. I got more Sports Page coming your way here on GJRB Online. So stay with me. I'll be right back. Got more coming up. Sports Page continues in just a few moments. Stay with us.